All right, time now for seeing what's on the radar for Allan Small. He's a senior investment advisor at Allan Small Financial Group, IA Private Wealth. And Allan, 2025 was about tech stocks. 2026 is about more tech stocks. What do you like? Companies maybe that people don't think of as tech stocks.
As tech stocks, yeah. And so definitely a broadening out from the Mag 7, as we were saying before we came on here. You know, the Mag 7 names have basically driven the bus for tech, for the markets for so long. And last year, if you look at the biggest winners, none of them were Mag 7. I think the best Mag 7 name was Alphabet, up about 66%, nothing to sneeze at. But you look at some of the data storage names, they were up, hundreds of percent, whether it was a Western Digital, Seagate, SanDisk. Then you look at some names like Micron, a chip maker, memory chips, up well over 100% as well. So it seems to be a broadening out from the Mag 7, adding other names not even that you would consider as tech. What about all the power generation names?
Well, yeah, Meta now just announcing the nuclear power deals that they're trying to build, right? And that's one of the ones that's bringing these people in and raising awareness of them.
That's right. The nuclear power companies, the Vistras of the world, GE Vernova is another name that comes to mind. All these companies that are now making deals with these big cap tech names because the tech companies realize to power these data centers, you need a lot of energy, a lot of power. The grid, we just can't, the United States and I guess really around the world, just not enough power out there to run the massive amounts of data centers that are being built out, that have already been built and that they continue to build. And so, when you think about tech now, you have to look about all those other companies that go along with tech that you would not maybe think as tech. Now those stocks are going up in tandem with the technology space.
So how do you approach that when you're looking for companies? Because now you've broadened it out and there's a lot more to look at. What are you basing the decisions on?
I always go back to basics, right? You look at the bottom-up stock picking. You look at what companies will benefit from what's going on right now. So you look at the story behind the name, and then you look at where these names are trading. Some of them are trading a lot more expensive than others. So as we just said, GE Vernova, a lot more expensive than a Vistra. You look at other tech names. You can look back or circle back to some of the Mag 7 names like a Meta. Meta now is trading extremely cheap versus the other Mag 7 names. Microsoft didn't really do an awful lot last year. Amazon has had a great start to 26, but that also lagged last year. I think it was only up like single digits. So there are a lot of names, Mag 7, non-Mag 7, that have really did not perform well. We didn't see their share prices move higher. I think those are the names you can circle back to. Some of those names in the data storage and in memory, tough to buy those names at these lofty prices, but for whatever reason, they continue to rise. People still continue to jump on the bandwagon, but make no mistake, if we start to hear that, for example, memory chips, there's a bit of a glut in that space, watch how fast those names like Micron will sell off. So got to be careful, not for the faint of heart, but you definitely want to continue to look at tech because I still believe tech is going to power really everything. And I'll just say with the CES this week, right, Consumer Electronics Show out of the U.S., out of Las Vegas, a lot of great announcements, NVIDIA new chips, AMD new chips, robo-taxis, robotics, all that is coming, and that is exciting.
But we also heard from NVIDIA at the CES that they might not need coolers for some of their chips, which changes one of the suppliers, and we watched their stock. I was trying to remember which one it was, but their stock
Vertiv
dropped.
Yes.
Yeah, it dropped, right?
Yeah. So the Vertiv is basically they supply everything to do with the rack, where where everything sits, whether it's cooling systems, whether they control the energy, they regulate the energy coming in and out, the rack itself. Vertiv is a name that has definitely benefited. There it is, right there. Up today, it looks like benefited from data center build, and I think they will continue. Interesting. Cody, the gentleman who. For the longest time affiliated with Honeywell. Now he's one of the top guys over at Vertiv. I saw an interview with him recently. He spoke really highly of what they're doing over there at Vertiv. So yeah, I guess with the new chips, the Vera Rubin chips out of NVIDIA, maybe you don't need as much in the way of cooling. Maybe it doesn't require as much energy to use, but still going to be a definite shortage there.
What about natural gas companies, things like that are going to supply the power?
Absolutely. Natural gas companies, utilities, it's all nuclear. It's all going to, it's already rising based on what we're talking about now. I anticipate it continue to rise, and that's where you have to do your homework. Which ones are you going to want to own? Yeah. Which ones haven't gone up as much as yet? And obviously, if you can get a nice dividend while you wait for the growth, that's always a good recipe for success.
And one last with nuclear, any concerns? I mean, this is a long-term project if they're going to bring nuclear in as power? Any concerns that that might go bust and they might just stay with natural gas or things like that?
Well, I think that you make a good point, right? The long term of nuclear and other energy sources, it doesn't really match up, right? Because you can build out a data center a lot quicker than you can add some nuclear energy in 3 Mile Island or whatever it is and get that going again. So I think there's a bit of a mismatch. I think that whole nuclear idea and some of the other power companies that names like Meta and others are buying into or buying up, I think that is for the longer term. The question is, where are they going to get their power in the short term? And that's the big question.